You got to find your path. You got to set your pace, and it's lower than you think. And you also have to build in some feedback loops that I know this is getting better. When we do get to the corrective, the thing that you're going to do differently, the thing that's sort of going to calibrate you in a direction you want to head in, people usually make one or two errors in the path they choose or in the pace they choose to pursue it. If I were talking to somebody with significant flexibility problems and they're on a strength path, that's never going to get better because they will never friction themselves against a situation that asks for more mobility. They'll always just figure out where they're strong, work out more there. If somebody's going for more endurance, they're just going to keep running. They're never going to realize maybe that strength or flexibility could help that. When we look first at a movement screen, we see the telltale signs of you beating up certain patterns early in your life. If you were a jumper early in your life and extremely powerful, squat's probably going to have some marks on it when I go to check your deep squat. And it's not going to be deep like a dancer's because you were using your springiness, not your mobility, and you did it at a growing phase where you weren't keeping the other patterns alive. The FMS will help me pick your path. Mobility, motor control, stability, balance, symmetry, or is it a squatting or hinging pattern? FMS tells me all that, and I can double check it with balance, YBT things. But that still doesn't tell you the pace you need to go at. And I think it's more important to pick the path first because we've got to friction you right where you have those stick points because that's where you make a decision without making a decision to compensate. You just go and compensate and we got to go chase that thing. Better to keep you right at that friction. So if you're a stiff person, a sun salutation or a Turkish Get-Up is not going to require a lot of reps or a lot of weight to make you sweat because you are your own resistance. Learning to dump that tension, let go of that is sort of a breathing and awareness thing. I also have been studying the way we come at cardio, and most of us pick a cardio range one level above where we can meditate. At about a very low heart rate, 125, 130, I can meditate on a paddleboard. I can meditate on a fat tire bike, or I can almost meditate on a trail run now. If I get up into my 145, 50 range, my brain starts getting a little scattered. I have a lot more processing. I start losing my focus. But there's something down around that low cardio range where you could pretty much nose breathe the whole time. Relax jaw, dump tension. And there's about a 20 to 40 minute meditation that occurs that's almost as refreshing as a nap. Nobody who's into cardio is going to be impressed by what I do on a fat tire bike for 30 minutes on a gravel road. And that fat tire bike is slow and hard to pedal, but it's just enough workload over 6 miles to where my lunch break just had a workout. And because I've got a lot of orthopedic issues, I'm comfortable the whole time. So you got to find your path. And I think our screens and tests and assessments do that, but you'll find it, okay? You got to set your pace and it's lower than you think, right? And you also have to build in some feedback loops that I know this is getting better. But most of us go to YouTube and see people doing ambitious stuff faster than they should. And we hit on their path at their pace and we don't ever find ours. And that's where balance is. So if you're aware of the problem and you've protected the downside, letting me sort of look at your path, your pace, really helps you find your thing.